10 in Auto Electronics here. Today we have a 1994 Lexus LS400. This is going to be the same as the 93. The 92 and prior had mechanical odometer, different cluster, different climate control, a lot of different stuff. But this one specifically has an issue with what appears to be the amplifier. You can hear that. Obviously getting parts for this old of a vehicle is not easy. There's nobody left that really repairs the radios, the amplifiers, the CD changers. So we're going to try to track down a good used amplifier for the customer, and hopefully that takes care of his issue. I don't think it's the head unit, because it seems to be happening on every selection here. The climate control here, you can see a little bit of screen bleed on the bottom, so we're going to get that replaced. They also have a traction control light issue. We're going to have to pull the codes on that to see what that is. They also want their RPM needle fixed here. And finally, they want their ECU removed, and then the capacitors replaced. So we'll show a variety of procedures on this vehicle, how to get everything out, some tips and tricks, and we'll try to fix all these issues they're having. So stay tuned. We'll kind of go step by step: removal, cluster, climate control, ECU. Alright, starting with the ECU here. It's behind the glove box area and the knee pad. The customer already began to remove most of this, so we're unfortunately not going to be able to show you every single step. But once you remove the lower trim, you'll kind of see, you'll start to gain access down here, and this whole thing is kind of connected. And then also, obviously, the glove box itself has been removed here, mostly. It's just going to leave us with a couple of 10mm bolts here on the left and the right, and that should start to separate things. Alright, once you remove those 10mm bolts, you can close the glove box, and then this panel on the bottom will come free, because it's held on the top here by 10mm, 10mm, and then there's two more which were previously removed here. There's one here, which corresponds to the bottom, and then one here, which corresponds to this one. Now the ECU is free, and we can remove it, send it in, repair it, whatever you want to do with it. These are a lot more difficult than 95 and up. A lot more bolts. You got to remove the CD changer out of the glove box here and gain access, and the ECU on later are kind of shoved back up in here, so it's even more of a process to get it out. So keep that in mind. This really only applies to 90 and 94. And then the ECU itself is held in by 10mm nuts. There's going to be 3 total, 2 on the left, and then 1 on the right. So get these off, and then pop your connectors loose. Just push the little tab and pull. There's 4 total, and that's it. The ECU is out. Alright, now with the ECU out of the way, we're going to do the climate control radio center stack. First step is you want to get ideally a pry tool. A very thin screwdriver flathead will work, just to break this loose. You don't want to crack the wood or anything. Sometimes this is really brittle and discolored depending on your climate, but it's just held in by, looks like this tab is broken here previously, and there's a tab here and then 2 normal tabs at the back. So that's just a press fit, pops in, and then you can pull the ashtray and switch assembly here out, just pushed in by tabs. You're going to have to get the shifter out of gear by pushing this magic button. That releases it, so you have more space to get this out of here. At this point you can leave this in. It's going to give you some more room if you just unplug it though. And this tab looks like it's broken. maybe. There we go. Always want to check because these have bulbs, and a lot of times over time they'll die out. So all these switches have individual bulbs on them. Okay, now we've got 2 bolts on the bottom. Those are either 8mm or 10mm, sometimes depending upon the year. This one looks like it's 8mm. So we will loosen these too. Also, a lot of times if you try using a Phillips, these strip out really easily. So it's always recommended to use a socket if you can on the radio mounting. For whatever reason, it's just a really soft metal, and they're torqued tighter than you can get them loose with a Phillips screwdriver. So, put the second one out there. Now you have the vent on top. If you grasp it on both sides, left and right, you can usually pop it right out of there, no problem. And there we go. There's a plug here for the hazard switch. Hazard switch again has a bulb in it, so if your hazard switch doesn't illuminate, there you go, that's why. And then we'll find the same 2 bolts on top that hold the climate control and radio in to the dash. There's 1, there's 2. Okay, now the whole thing just pulls straight out. Now a 93-94 Lexus LS400, it has a different plug for the climate control. All you gotta do is push down on this orange button and then lift the white retainer, and then those plugs come right out. We're gonna leave the radio in here because we don't need to touch it. In order to remove the climate, we've got 2 Phillips screws on each side, left and right. So I'll just remove those on my own, and then the climate pops out of the bracket. And then that's it. You're done. So I'll let you finish that. I'm not going to bore you with taking screws out. Next step, we'll move on to the cluster. Alright, the gauge cluster. You're going to need a stubby Phillips and then a normal size Phillips. You want to make sure the wheel is all the way out, back towards you to get the cluster out. If your motor's broken, you might have to drop the column from down below. But there's 3 Phillips head screws on top, right here, that you're going to need your shorty on. One here, one in the middle, one on the left. I've already taken those out to simplify the video. Adjust the camera here. This trim piece on the outside just pulls straight out again. It's just got tabs in the left and right on the lower side. Then you're also going to find a couple of plugs up on top here in the bezel. One on the right, one on the left. Now here's something a lot of people say or tell us. Well, I got the cluster back and the check engine light's on or the airbag light's on, etc. Well, that happened because you started the car, turned the ignition with the cluster removed. If you turn the key on, the cluster has to be installed, otherwise you'll trigger an airbag light. Secondly, almost all of the warning lights on the cluster are part of the bezel here, not actually in the gauge cluster. So you have everything from the check engine light to the traction control light, this light, the tail light warning, airbag, seatbelt, brake, emergency brake, door, battery, and oil. So these are all projected onto the gauge cluster. So keep that in mind when you're doing this. And like I said, disconnect the battery, something, when you take the cluster out, so there's no way you're going to trigger that airbag light, because it's really difficult to reset, and it's a process. So that applies to all Lexus earlier models prior to probably 95 or so. I think in LS 95 and up it's not an issue anymore, but 94 and below, I think up to 96 on SC, and then up to 96 on ES, same thing. For whatever reason, the airbag light in the cluster is part of the check circuit of the airbag ECU. So if it's not there, it's going to trigger a code. Now lastly, you've got 4 screws in the cluster, one in the lower right, this one here in the upper kind of right quadrant, and then in the upper left and lower left. So I'm going to pull these screws out, and then we'll remove the cluster. Alright, so as you can see, there's plenty of room between the wheel and the cluster and the dash to get it out. You're going to find 3 plugs in back, and you can use your fingers, you can use like a short screwdriver to kind of depress the tab on top. There's just a little retaining tab here, so you're going to push that down, and at the same time wiggle that cluster connector free. So there's 1, there's 2, and orange one, number 3. Cluster slides out. Alright, so we have the cluster removed. When you ship this in, take very good care. We double box them. When we ship them outbound, we ship them in like, I think it's a 17 by 9 by 9 inside of an 18, 12, 10. Because these 90 to 94 LS are so fragile. The needles are made of glass. They're like fluorescent light tubes or fluorescent lights, except glass and not plastic. And the gauges, the calibration on them is just so fragile that if UPS drops this box, if there's not enough padding, these needles, we've seen them shattered, we've seen them just broken off of the motor, just all sorts of crazy stuff. So treat this like fine china, dishware, and always try to ship it in an upright position. So like it's installed in the vehicle, make sure it's in the box the same way. There's, up on top of the box, and try not to ship it on its side or upside down. That's the worst, because very fragile. So we've got everything out. Now you can repair them yourselves. You can send them in to us. We can take care of everything. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. Thank you.